Hello and welcome to Teach Online TV. I am here with Heather Havenwood and the Sexy Boss, author of, is it Sexy Boss, the author? You're the author of Sexy Boss. And Heather has been involved in internet marketing since 1999. So that was about the time I was getting involved in this space. So we both go back a ways there. I saw that in 2006, you were working with a client and brought them, or basically brought a whole business from zero to over $1 million in sales with no list, no prior brand or anything, which I think is amazing because that's definitely something we see a lot of people looking to do is how do you even just get started? And then we were just chatting just before this about your podcast, podcast history, podcast experience strategies, and talking about the amazing number of podcasts that you've been on recently. So I'd love to learn a little bit more about how you're doing that and how to be a good guest on a podcast and use that to kind of build your list and build your audience and build your traffic. Mm-hmm. So welcome to Teach Online TV. Really great to have you here, Heather. I've been looking forward to this conversation ever since I heard we were going to have a chance to talk. And so welcome.
Thanks for Teach Online TV. I feel like I'm like, Teach Online TV. Like you should have like a jingle for that. Teach Online TV or something like that.
Oh, we do. It rolled right before this. So for everyone watching, they just saw it.
Oh my God. Wow. I feel like a dork. That's okay.
No. I don't think there's singing like in a typical jingle. It might just be a little bit of music and some images.
All good. Well, now you can have a jingle. So thanks for having me on. This is going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully add a ton of value and give as much as I possibly can. That's my intention when I'm on the calls.
Awesome. Yeah. Cause I know you have the experience in a lot of areas that, on marketing that people here are definitely interested in, and me too. Okay. So love to hear more about that.
Awesome. Let's get started.
Yeah. There was one thing that you had mentioned before about taking that personal story and personal brand and using that to kind of grow and build your audience. I'd love to hear a little bit about how you've done that for people or even for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So just to give you an idea, I restarted a business in 2008, really from scratch again. I think the beauty of when you have to learn from scratch in business with no backup, maybe it wins or it fails or whatever happens, you have this kind of confidence of like, I can do that again. If it happens again, you know what I mean? And so I did build a business really quickly in 2005-06 from $0 to $1 million, but then it was like taken away from me. What I mean by that is like a business partner. I thought everything was kosher and then came home one day from an event and everything was gone. And I still had these things called bills and mortgage, right? So, and everything was gone. Bank accounts were completely empty. And I really had to figure out, one, do I even want to be in business anymore? I want to be this whole entrepreneur thing anyway. And then two, if I do, how do I get restarted? So it took a while, like back till 2008, for me to kind of what I call it, get my feet back underneath me and start from scratch again. But I started a business that it was information marketing only, really heavy on email marketing from scratch. And I did something very strategic. I did something where it's like, I wanted to make sure I created a business that it was 100% evergreen. What I mean by that is before I was in the real estate industry, and whenever you create a real estate course, not all niches are like this, but a lot of niches are, where you build an information marketing real estate course, they sell it based on fear, and they sell it based on this is the right thing and the last thing was not good. Does that make sense? Like now, things have changed, laws have changed, issues have changed, and I have the right stuff, And so there's this fear, and you constantly have to keep creating products. Constant, because the mortgage business and the real estate industry changes, right? Just like a stock business, just constant change. I didn't want to do that because one thing you know about me, Greg, I don't like creating products. I don't know if you experience this, but when someone says go create a product, I'm like, oh my God. Like I just don't enjoy the process. So I said, if I'm going to create information marketing product, I want it to be something I can sell over and over and over again. And I never have to touch it. Again, right? Yeah. So that was what my intention was. So I went into the dating business because look, Greg, You guys don't change much. Okay. So you guys don't change much.
Yeah.
You guys don't, right? So I figured if I could teach men how to date women, then that product will never go away and it's recession proof. And I'm telling you all of this because you might resonate with the fact that you don't like to create products. You might be really good at the selling process, but you're not good at creating products, like me. Or you're the opposite. You're one of those people that loves to create products. Like, I got like 10 products I want to sell, but I don't know how to sell them. You're that when I get a lot more, actually. Like, I got this product and I got this product, but no one's bought them, or how do I sell this stuff? I'm the opposite. I love promoting.
Yeah.
I don't like creating products.
That's great, because it's often the reverse. That's the hard part for people, is they have that expertise, they have the passion, they put it all together, and sometimes, unfortunately, they go all the way through that without even thinking about the marketing or the sales. Yes. And then it's okay, I've got it. What do I do next? Yeah,
like I got this thing. Sell it, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I learned in the information market business back in 2001, is that just because you have a great thing doesn't mean people want to buy it, right? So you have to really reverse engineer the process. So taking me back to where we are today, where we're talking about podcasting and promoting oneself, I got involved in podcasting in August 2015. So right now we're talking a year later, about September 2015. And I love the medium. I love it, because I get to here in my house. I have my cup of coffee. I got my little mic. I'm good. I'm hanging out. You don't know if I got underwear on or not. I'm just saying. Right? You don't know. Yeah. So I love that. I really love to be able just to relax, have a good time. So from August 2015 to about January of 2016, I've been on over 100 podcasts. I think at this point I'm over at 150. I stopped counting. Now,
excellent.
That's not to like go, oh, look at me. It's more about every time I'm on any kind of summit or podcast or radio station, my job is to give as much as I possibly can and give value and be an amazing guest for you and your listeners. That's my job. It's not narcissistic. It's 100% give. I want to make your show amazing, because at the end of the day, I'm in your house, right? I'm literally on your platform. I'm in your house. It's not mine. So I want to make sure I add value. And what happened with that, it just kind of sparked, people started talking like, hey, she's awesome. She's great. Because being a guest, believe it or not, I thought to me, it's a lot of fun and easy, but for some people it's challenging.
Right.
Thought, oh, wow. Why is it challenging? A couple things. One, if they've ever done a media training, someone's in media training is taught in sound bites, because if they do video, like let's say TV, okay, like I've been on TV before, I had a total of 2 minutes and 30 seconds that whole spot. And I had to talk in sound bites.
Right.
Okay. And you can't tell a story on a soundbite. You tell a soundbite. You sell, boom, what are you from? This is what I do. Boom, boom, boom. It's quick and it's fast and it's to the point. Okay.
Yeah.
When you're in a show like this or a summit or podcast, whatever, this audio medium, okay, you have to tell a story and you have to engage, and it's entertainment plus education. It's a different kind of conversation, and it's a conversation. I'm not speaking at you, Greg. Like, you're not my audience and I'm like speaking at you. Like, we're engaged in a conversation.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
So the idea is that people are just listening in while we're having coffee, literally, right? We're just hanging out having coffee and people listening. So that's the difference. And so that's the idea of this medium. I wanted to give you a chance.
No, it's okay. And I think that it's a great point. It's definitely a reason why this whole medium is working really well, and why you're even seeing, I was speaking to someone the other day who's professional radio for 15 years, and they're looking at getting into podcasting because they see all this opportunity over here of moving away from a lot of your conventional media, TV, radio, other areas. And just amazing how everybody's got their phone with them and they've got their, podcast that they're subscribed to. And it's amazing how much they can listen to from their phone on the bus or, in the car and all the other places that they are. So it's you're right. It's definitely a great medium to get out there and reach people. So are you finding that that's pretty amazing. You said about 150 shows in the last year. Is it working for you? How are you tracking it? Is it, what are the kind of, I'm really big on metrics and the back end of it, doing the analysis after the fact. I have struggled a little bit of seeing that with the podcast, just because I know that some people, they're listening to it and I'm like, hey, go to this link.com and, it's in the show notes and we've created a special link to get an offer for you. But sometimes you're just not entirely sure how much of that traffic is generated from other sources and how much actually coming from the exposure you're getting from the podcast.
Okay, so I completely agree, and I'm a Google Analytics GTM, Google Tag Manager girl. I get it. However, I learned quickly that first of all, I look at podcasting. When I say podcasting, by the way, let me just clarify: summits, radio. I mean, like that's like an overall arc. Okay, there's a lot of different elements in the audio space. I learned quickly that I couldn't create a special link every time, right? Because if I'm on your show, I'm like, go to heatherhavenwood.com. I just want them to go there because it's a traffic conversation. Yeah. And I always it's usually at the end of the show versus like if I'm on a webinar, which is a sales pitch, I would do way more different kind of tracking. Okay. Right. So I agree with you. However, I have seen a huge increase in my traffic in the last year. Right. And I also realize that if I'm on one person's podcast, they're placing that all over the place. Right. Yeah. And then they're placing that on their social media, on their email marketing potentially. So God, after that, you're like, you don't know. You really hard to track. But I've seen a huge increase.
That's good.
Traffic. So I look at it as a traffic source. Okay. I mean, it's traffic source. Yeah. And I'm okay with that.
And has that been your primary channel for the last year?
Yeah. I mean, I went full on that. I'm just now hiring an SEO company organically to restructure some things because I've realized even though I'm on all these shows, I've only had like 5 of them link back to me. Like, dude, guys, come on, link on back. You think I'd have all these like backlinks, but I only have like 5. And I'm like, so I have to go back. And not everyone's internet marketing savvy in all these shows too. Right. So would you mind putting my website on your website? That would help us, But here's how I see it. In the information marketing space, it's all about the traffic on the front end. It's what you deal with the traffic on the back end that really matters. Okay.
Right.
So when I was in the information marketing business, I was in seminar business where I used to get in a car and then I would go to the airport and then I would get on a plane and I would slip around my freaking suitcase and I would go to a new city every single week. Oh my God, I'm so tired of even talking about it. I did that for 7 years and we went to a different city every week. And we did 2, 4, 6 presentations a week, every week. In different
I see why you like doing this from home.
Oh God. It was so, I mean, I did have a, gold membership on Delta Crown, but still Delta Crown room was like my second home. And what I learned in that business is that we went to a city, let's say Chicago, and we spent radio, TV, newspaper ad to get 40 people in the room. No kidding, 40 people. And we sold 10% for people at $3,000. The company, right, at the time, if we broke even, not made any money, if we broke even, they were happy. I'm like, what? How are you making any money? Because it's all about the back end.
Right.
It's all about the back end. What they did with the list of people that didn't buy, and then what they did with that list of people that did purchase. I promise you, over a period of a year, they pulled a lot of money out of that list. And so they had about 4 teams going on, traveling around the country doing this. I'm trying to give you a visual of how much money it used to be to actually build a list and how much easier it is now. Podcasting has now been able to create that space. So in other words, I'm on over 150 hours of free publicity.
Right.
It's crazy. If you think of that, that's pretty, and I'm not saying you have to do that, but if you just get 10 hours, right, of free publicity, that's 10 hours evergreen. It's recorded. It's going to be heard over and over and over again for months on end. So it's a pretty powerful medium when you look at it that way.
And would you say for someone who's looking to, well, actually back to your point about, promoting at the end, I actually generally we'll mention something up front. We'll definitely put the link in for you there. But for people who are, for people who are listening, watching, it's heatherhavenwood.com is where they can find more about you. And that is for advice, information around marketing and more around podcasting, email marketing, that kind of help as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So the heatherhavenwood.com is kind of my center hub of everything, right? So you can find my book there, Sexy Boss. I also have 5 other books on Amazon. You can check if you're interested, like, hey, I just want to work with this girl. This girl sounds pretty cool. I don't know, maybe hang out, talk. You want to interview me on one of your podcasts, you can go to the upper right-hand side. It says work with Heather and get on my calendar and let's just chat and see how we can work together. So that's kind of my hub. And I have like 5 other sites going. I have a supplement company. I got the dating business. I have a weight loss company locally. So it's not the only thing I do, and it's my main hub, right? So heatherhavenwood.com is my main hub, and I'm sharing this with you. And go to heatherhavenwood.com/media and go to that page, because I think this is the number one tool that a lot of people who want to get on as a guest in front of podcasts don't do. They don't have a media page.
Right.
And go steal, totally steal from me, because honestly, it is the number one sales tool I use every day. Right. So when I reached out to your team, okay, we were introduced. Please go check out my media page. It had a video of me talking. It had my images all ready to go to grab. It had my bio, and it had 2 or 3 other podcasts of me. So you can listen if I'm good or not, or stuck or whatever. Right. Right. It's fine. It's my judge. I'm telling you, judge me. Here's my media page. Judge me. And that's what we do. That's what you're supposed to do. And then people get to say, yes, no, you suck. You're cool. Come on board. Because what's interesting about these kinds of shows, Greg, is that it's counterintuitive. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is my analogy. Okay. You got a party going on here, right? You got your community here. I call it the party. It's a tribe. I don't like tribe. I don't like that. Yeah. I call it party. Okay. Yeah. So you got a party going on, and I'm over here going, hey, can I come to your party? Right, which is totally counterintuitive, because we want to be invited to the party, right?
But you're bringing the booze to the party, right?
But I am bringing the booze. Right? Oh my God, I'm going to use that.
Yeah, or you're bringing the booze, or you're just the entertaining guest that everybody gets to enjoy talking to or listening to.
Yeah, but it's very counterintuitive for people to say, hey, Greg has got this cool party going on. I want to go invite myself to the party. People don't like to invite themselves. They want to be invited, right? But that's how this business works. Yeah. We ask to be invited, and it's very counterintuitive. So because that is, use the tools of a media page, because it's just a great thing to use and leverage that invitation. It's like, hey, I want to be invited. Check out my page. Tell me if I'm cool or not. I mean, that's really what we're doing, right? So if you look at it that way, it kind of releases the pressure off of people, I think. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. And I think that, the first few times I reached out about getting on a podcast, there's a little bit of nervousness of like, is this going to work? Are they going to want me on the show? And then you get on a few and you realize that even those people hosting the party, they're actually looking for great guests. So if you can bring, and as you said, give and bring value and not just come and just sell, but you're coming and actually like, I've got some great stuff to teach, to share stories. And the stories, you're so right. It's a huge piece of it. If you can bring those stories, that's great. That's what they're looking for. And they'll be happy to have you come and join the party, especially if you bring the booze.
By the way, I really love that. BYOB, I'm bringing the booze, dude. Yeah. You're invited. I wanted to give your tribe, your party, 3 things that I think if they say, hey, I want to do this, I want to go out there and promote myself to be on people's guests or shows or whatnot, there's 3 action items, right? There's 3 steps they need to do. Okay.
Excellent.
So the first one is structure. All right. So what's the structure? The structure is the media page, first off, like what I call the narcissistic page, which is all about you, okay? And you really are sharing yourself. You're highlighting yourself, which is so sometimes weird for people. But it's a media page, okay? Again, go to mine and just rip it off. It's fine. I'm totally cool with that.
Might want to change the name. So.
Yeah, change the name and change the images. But you can rip it off. Yeah. Oh, that's really funny. People probably do that, won't they? They'll like grab my images like, this is me.
Here I am. I'm the author of Sexy Boss, and this is a video of me.
Oh my God. Probably someone will do that. Please don't. Just ask.
I don't think, no one at our party would do that.
Okay, cool. So mainly the structure. That's the first one.
So that, especially the media page there, is great. Yep.
I mean, it sounds so simple to you and I, Greg, but you and I both know You've been on either shows or had someone on and you're like, hey, where's your image? Oh, let me send you a doc. Or where's your bio? Let me send you a Word doc. I'm like, dude, this is 2016. You can't even create a landing page? Come on, dude. Really? Come on. I mean, dude, really? So just the basics. And another one, don't create this long bio. Okay. You want the short bio and the long bio, right? I'm sure you've had this one too. Like it's like a dissertation, like bios like, okay, look, dude, I didn't ask for the resume. I asked for a bio, which is very important. Yeah. So again, you want to set it up for success. So that's what I mean by the structure, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I've been on shows where they say, bio max 50 words. That's all we want. 50 words. That's it. So sometimes it's 100, sometimes 150. I don't think I've seen anything more than like 150, 200 words. Nobody wants to go through this huge bio to bring you on.
No. And you also, here's another one. Hopefully Peter Visser's not listening. If he is, he's going to laugh. So he's so adorable. Like he's really, really awesome. I love Peter. We had a great interview. I actually interviewed him. His bio was in the first person. So it said, Peter Visser. So I'm like, Peter, I can't read it. Peter Visser, welcome to the call. Wait, what? I had to, what I'm saying? You had to do it third person.
Yeah.
Peter Visser is, poor guy. Sorry, Peter. He's never done one before. And so I had to in the moment, put it into third person. So he's like, I didn't know. I'm like, it's okay. It's fine. You can tell he was adorable that he was like, I'm clueless. But it was a great interview. He's actually really smart. So that's the first part, structure. Second, though, is setup. Mike, again, a couple weeks ago, had a really awesome guy on. I was actually asking him to be my guest, and I'm all ready for the call, and he calls me on his cell phone. I'm like, wait, well, we're meeting on Skype.
Yeah.
Well, I can call you via Skype, from my phone. I'm like, get a microphone. You don't have a microphone? He's like, no. I'm like, what? This guy's a really professional master of his field, and just get a microphone. Now, I'm on this really cool one. I kind of stepped it up, but for the first 100 or so podcasts, I had this thing called a Yeti, Blue Yeti. I still have it.
Yeah.
It's like $129 online. Maybe you might even get it used for $90. That's all you need, people. You don't, okay? It's not hard.
Or is that the ATR you've got?
Yeah. So now I have a full-fledged ATR. It's into my mixer's into the computer. I mean, I really stepped it up, but that was after 9 months of doing this ton. Okay. So you don't have to go there. I mean, the reason is because also I can do this and it looks really cool. And
yeah,
it's got this cool turquoise going. Mainly it's because it's a lot more fun. But this was I still have this to this day because sometimes I need to use it as my backup. So get a microphone. Again, you've been through this, right?
Yeah, I've got a bunch here. I'm using actually I'm just on the Snowball today, but I have the ATR that you've got there, and then the Shure SM7B as well. But unfortunately, my the audio, what do you call it? This thing, your audio I can't pull it in front of the camera. It's still hooked up to all the cables, but the audio interface kind of was having some issues. So I've stepped it down to my simple Snowball, which is about $60. So stepped it down to that because it seems to work fine and my other one's having an issue. So
yeah, I mean, but at least you have something, you get backups. The other thing that this is part of step 2 setup, is when you're dealing with audio and visual. Right now we're doing both. We have audio and visual. Just so you know, I am what I call hardwired in my computer. I'm not using Wi-Fi. Right? No way am I going to use Wi-Fi. You got to go hardwire. You got to plug it in. You got to plug it in. I know that people are like, what? You got to plug it in, because when you're dealing with audio and visual, it takes a lot of bandwidth, but 2, it can go in and out really fast with Wi-Fi. And you don't want that to happen when you're dealing with audio and visual.
Yeah. We had to hardwire the studio here, and we actually we're getting in fiber now. So probably overkill for most people, but definitely on the hardwire, you're right.
Yeah, you got to plug it in. So that's the second part of of this structure and the setup. Number 3 is what we've already been talking about, which is promotion. And what that is now that you're set up, you're ready to go, you're clear on your market to message, you got your media page, you got all your images, then now you can start promoting yourself, right? Then you can start saying, hey, Greg, I got some value I want to add to your community, to your tribe. Here's what it is. The cool thing the interesting thing to think about with podcasting is that it's more mass media. Okay, what do I mean by that? We talk a lot about internet marketing, niche it. It's all in the niching, which is true.
Or in Canada, we're niche.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, niche is fine. I've adopted the language, so I'm niche.
Oh, you have? Okay, cool. Well, I'm from Texas. You don't sound Canadian at all, by the way. You don't sound Canadian.
Don't think so, eh?
Hey, there it is. Turn it on. So basically, with this part is that you want to promote yourself, right? And we talk about niches, and niches are great. However, when you go mass media, you want to be more broad. You got to have a little bit of a broader message. Then you can, what I call, tweak your message on the specific show. Okay. Mm-hmm. So for instance, I was on a show recently where the show was geared towards lawyers.
Right.
Right. I'm like, this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
The guy was actually really nice, right? You're a lawyer. I'm like, is this going to be boring? Like, right. But he was actually a lot of fun. We talked about marketing because lawyers, really what they do is they market themselves all the time. They're promoting themselves, right? That's all they do, right?
Yeah. Often we're not very good at it though, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They should have an entire semester at least on promotion in law school, which I know they don't. So that's what I was talking to these guys about. How do you self-promote yourself? All the skill sets that we know in information marketing, they all should learn. How do you promote yourself? So I was talking to them about marketing and promoting oneself in the lawyer space. And it was it was actually a great interview. I had a lot of fun. The guy loved it. He asked a ton of questions and hopefully he'll ask me again. Ask me out again. Just kidding, honey. I'm engaged, so don't freak out. Basically, I'm giving you an idea of like it's a mass media, and then when you're on a specific call, you can go niche. Right. But you want to market yourself, what I call a little bit more broad, so that you can go on different shows. Right.
Right.
That's
okay.
So there's that, and then people ask me all the time, and this is a great question about leverageability. Mm-hmm. Why would you do this? Why are you on so many shows? Well, it's kind of like saying, well, I was on Fox News, but I don't want to go on CNN. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Fox News, CNN, because everyone's got what I call their flavor of coffee. Yeah. Right. If I'm the person being asked to be on CNN, I'm going to be on CNN. I'm going to be on MSNBC. I'm going to be on OI1, 142, Canada, whatever. Like, I don't care because I want my message out there. Yeah. Because what I also know is people stick to one channel, right? What I mean by that is they have their little favorite. Yeah. Right. I'm a Fox Newser. I watch Fox News all day, pretty much, just in the background all the time. Every now and then, I'll go over and watch Anderson Cooper on CNN because it's just so pretty. But I basically watch Fox News. I know who they are. Okay. And every now and then I'll go on CNN. But I kind of assume that if they're a guest, if they're a guest and they're an expert, they're going to go try to put themselves on every single channel possible. Okay. Right. Right. So I kind of assume I'm going to get what I call most of the guests out there. And I'm okay if I don't, because I'm like, well, Fox News doesn't like them. I don't like them. Because I'm right. I'm like the perfect customer for them. They love me. But I want you to understand the listener of podcasts. That's how they are. Right. Once in with this show, they're in. They're a customer for life. They're going to, listen to you, and they're part of your community and tribe.
Yeah, right? Hopefully.
Right. Yeah. Right. Hopefully. Right. But that's why you want to go to so many tribes and you want to go to so many platforms.
Yeah, definitely. And you're right. There's not a lot of crossover, especially if you're going from lawyer show to course creators and teaching online show, right? There's very, very little crossover there. So you're reaching a whole new segment every time you go, probably even more so than say Fox and CNN, with how segmented the whole podcast space is. So that's great. Yeah. Don't limit yourself for sure.
So I want to share something real quick with the audience because I'm just learning about your company and what you do, and it's super cool. And we're going to talk about that later. But I want to give y'all a little reminder of how the information marketing business used to be. Right? So I feel so old. It's like 2001, back in the day, in 2001 and 99. Like, it's not that long ago, people. Okay. But, oh well, back in 2001, when I was doing seminars and events, we were selling other seminars and we were selling information marketing. But back then, you had to create the product, get it printed, get it in a binder. If it was audio, you had to get a CD. Then you had to get casing. I mean, a lot of expense. And then you didn't know how many you were going to sell. So you had to like pick a number out of your head of how many you were going to sell, because then you had to figure out how many people were going to be there and go backwards on a percentage. You can see where this goes. We're constantly carrying books and tapes and CDs with us because stuff that we didn't sell. And they were heavy. I mean, they were big, right? Big and heavy and bulky. We called it the thud factor, because the bigger and heavy they were, then people felt there was more value. And nowadays, you can create the product once, and then having software like you can sell 1, 2, 3, 4,000, and you never have to basically spend any more money to create it. That's powerful. That is crazy. That's powerful. And I love that. But it's come a long way. I think it's just really cool. It's a lower barrier of entry.
Plus with the not having to travel.
No travel.
Do things like podcasts. I mean, occasionally we do still go to events and stuff, but being able to get the reach that you're getting through the podcast that you're getting just from your living room is great, or your studio.
Oh, yeah. I'm no longer a gold member on Delta. You think they would have like lifetime, right? But every year you had to earn it again.
Continue to hit it. Yeah.
Earn it? How do I earn it? By sitting in a seat for hours on end. Is that earning anything? No, it's not. It's sitting there listening to you with the wind and the peanuts, and it's just not fun, but that's okay. That's another story.
So we probably won't get into email marketing. I know we've talked a lot about podcasts, and you have a ton of expertise in email marketing. So I might have to have you back and chat more about that. But I'm always curious. This is what I like to do. When I find someone like you who really understands email marketing, I will go and sign up for what they offer just to kind of check and watch. Occasionally I do get pulled in by all of the copy.
Are you stalking me? So you're saying I'm publicly going to stalk you. Is that what you're going to say?
No. I'm saying I'll go and sign up. Yeah, basically. Yeah, you're right. That's what I'm saying. I'll publicly stalk you, and I have. And so what's the best place for people to go if they want to do that? Because you're saying, hey, take my media page and take it. Name excluded, and get your own images. But for the email side, if they want to learn from how you're doing the email, where's the best place for them to go and do that?
Okay, so I have different. So my email marketing that I do on heatherhavenwood.com is way lower on a frequency level than it is my dating business. My dating business, sometimes I will email 3 to 4 times a day, and there's a lot of strategy behind that. We can talk about it another time. And people, there's a lot of people like, what? We spamming me? It's not spam. There's actually literally a strategy behind that. If you want to stalk me on that, you can go to datingtriggers.com or onlydateyoungerwomen.com. No, don't worry. There's no like weird sex spam or something coming at you. Okay. So it's, but it is a lot of copy. It's a lot of copywriting. I literally built the entire business. Really just learning copy, how to do email marketing copy. I mean, there's days that I do 5 and 6 emails a day, or write 5 or 6 emails a day. I don't hire out any of my copy on Canva. It's all me. Therefore, if you don't like it, stick it. I'm just kidding. I don't want to hear it. Just keep it to yourself. Okay. We can always learn, right? But feedback. It's just feedback, Heather. It's just feedback. No, it's all my copy. I don't hire it out.
Excellent.
I'm a big believer that's the only area. There's a couple areas of the business when I'm working with clients. People they have this idea that when they start a business, they can just hire everything out and they can just hang out and be cool. And I'm like, there's certain areas of your business you never let go of. And I'm curious if you believe this or not, Greg. But
definitely. Yeah.
The one is finances. Like you can hire an external bookkeeper, but it's not going to be your friend's sister. It's going to be like literally a third party bookkeeper. You still hold control of that. Okay. Number 1. Number 2 is your affiliate marketing, right? The reason I think that's really important is because those are major relationships with list holders.
Yeah.
It's a huge asset.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 3, I don't feel you should let go of is your email marketing.
Right.
I know people really want to do that. I really don't suggest it.
Yeah.
Because it's your connection to the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's really connection to your customers. And you can get so much data from emailing them, way more than social media. Someone liking a bunch of images, that's some feedback, but feedback where people are literally responding to your email and then buying or saying something specifically to you privately is way more valuable. So those are the 3 areas I think that no business owner should let go of.
Yeah. And I think even for that's great. And even for other areas, if you're looking to let go of anything, I always try and make sure that you've done it yourself for a while first and you understand it, so that when you do go to let go, you have some idea as to, who to get to do it, if they know what they're doing and if they're doing a good job ongoing. If you've done it yourself and you've watched the metrics and the performance for an ongoing period of time, and then you hand it off and everything changes, something's wrong. Otherwise, if you just bring someone in to do it right out of the gate, then they can tell you it's all these other problems. It's not them, and you don't actually know what the reality is. So, but you're right. There's definitely a lot of stuff. And, even in my business, for, one thing that I still have intimate involvement in is our product itself. And just being involved in actually the product that we put out.
It sounds like you and I have what I call have some similar skinned knees and broken bones in that. Because I've done the same thing everyone else done, right? I've trusted a vendor. Oh, well, I don't. And then whatever happens, I can't get in. I can't get access. I'm completely confused because I just didn't take the time to learn at least a little bit so that I can keep eye on their work and go,
right.
Hey, screwing up, you're gone, dude. Right? Versus I don't know, so I've learned quickly. There's pretty much not one part of the business I've not touched, even down to learning GTM, Google Tag Manager at this point. I could do my own Google Tag Manager. I don't need to hire that out. So
excellent.
Yeah. So
that's
anyway.
Great. Yes, definitely. So that's awesome. So if people want to find out more about you, Heather Havenwood is the best place. Anywhere else we should let them know to check out, or anything else you want to share or say?
Yeah, absolutely. So if they're interested in my book, go to sexybossinc.com and you can opt in and get 3 free chapters of my audio book of Sexy Boss, or you can text the word sexy to 72,000 and you get 3 free chapters of my audiobook as well. Or check me out at heatherhavenwood.com.
Excellent. So that was sexybossinc.com. I'll probably go there because I suspect that the text-ins, what was the text-in number?
Text the word sexy to 72,000, which is powered by Mobit, one of my sponsors for my podcast. However, you can't do international.
I was going to say most of the text-in ones have issues if you're outside of the US, but we still have a huge audience in the US.
Okay. Well, but I'm actually curious if it works for you. That's why I'm asking. He said no international.
I will try it out and let you know.
I don't consider Canada international. I consider anything like Mexico.
Yeah.
Anything beyond Mexico international. I don't consider Canada international.
So we have the same area code, or the same country code, right?
Yeah, we do actually. So you're fine. Canada's fine.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Heather. I really appreciate it. We're going to have to talk again soon because I know there's a ton more stuff that we could learn from you and that our party could learn from you. So thanks for bringing the booze and the entertainment. I really appreciate it. Looking forward to having you involved in, I think we got We Online coming up and got you involved in that too. So that'll be a lot of fun as well.
Yeah, thanks for having me on that. The Women's Summit, that's going to be a ton of fun. That's going to be a ton of fun. Thank you for having me on that, by the way. I'm really honored.
It'll be fun. Thanks for coming.
You're welcome.
Excellent. Thank you, Heather.
You're welcome.